Power Rangers has a lot of fan favorite Red Rangers, and there are a lot of fan favorite Red Rangers out there. Rangers like Jason Lee Scott, the original Red Ranger, Tommy Oliver, the Red Zeo Ranger, TJ, the Red Turbo Ranger, Andros, the Red Space Ranger, Leo, Lost Galaxy Red Ranger, Carter Grayson, A.K.A. the Lightspeed Red Ranger, Wes, a.k.a. the Time Force Red Ranger, and Eric Myers, a.k.a. the Quantum Ranger, and Cole Evans, Red Wild Force Ranger, Shane, Red Wind Ranger, Connor McKnight, Dino Thunder Red Ranger, Jack, SPD Red Ranger, and yeah, but there are no other Red Rangers like Casey Rhodes, aka Jungle Fury Red Ranger. To sum in a quick start, I absolutely really like Power Rangers Jungle Fury, and it is by far one of my all-time favorite Power Rangers seasons of all time. It's just one of my favorite Power Rangers seasons in general, and one of my favorite seasons of the Disney era of Power Rangers. Casey is a bit more like Wes and Cole, but unlike Wes or Cole, where they managed to use their powers very well and got used to the hang of it, Casey, on the other hand, seems to be having a problem with using his powers. And basically, yeah, although Casey, Wes, and Cole are a bit different with their personalities a bit, but in other words, yeah, he does start off a bit like,
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Guess it's my turn now. Spirit Unleashed!
Yeah, that's basically what started off Casey to having some problems with morphing into the Red Ranger. Even though that this scene was supposed to be a bit comedic, but it shows about how he hasn't been trained very well at the Mighty Pashwan Academy, mainly because that he was more of a janitor type in the academy. But without Theo and Lily's help, he would have gotten the chance to morph as the Red Ranger, and even without RJ's help too. And RJ decided to basically mentor Casey.
Jungle Beast! Unleash! With the strength of a tiger, Jungle Fury Red Ranger! Gotcha! Look, get out of the way. I'll take it from here. Right!
Casey also has a bit of a leadership problem as well. Red Rangers are supposed to be leaders after all, like in most iterations in previous seasons, but sometimes with other Red Rangers like Andros, who was sometimes not really that much the leader of the Space Rangers, or Wes from Time Force, who was not really that much of a leader, and it was more of Jen who was the leader of the Time Force Rangers. Much more like Jack from SPD and Cole from Wild Force, he has a bit of issues with being a team leader at first, but eventually he does get along and help to. RJ eventually helps him to train him to become a leader, and Casey uses those teachings, passing on towards him, and he manages to lead the Jungle Fury Rangers. And eventually, throughout his character arc, especially in the final 2 episodes of Jungle Fury, he does eventually become a great leader and a great mentor, and he passes on those teachings that he learned from all the Paishwa teachers, including from RJ, into those who needed those lessons. Casey also helps others no matter what. Like how in the episode where he was fighting one of Daishi's minions, and one of Daishi's minions almost fell off the cliff, but he luckily was there to save him. And also, he taught a kid who was stealing a kite from a store, learning a lesson about stealing and sharing and all that. He does a really great job on teaching those who needed them the most. He also even helped Jared to bring him back to the good side. Jared was by far the most relatable villains ever. Daishi being by far one of my favorite villains from the season. And I overall really liked how Casey helped Jared to redeem himself and to break free from Daishi's control. The others may see Jared as a bit of a jerk. The others may see him as a bit of an asshole. But Casey actually sees more than that. He sees the bigger picture and actually understands Jared. Even though that he failed the test, it was his job to help him to free Jared from Daishi. Even though that his old mentor told him not to go there. But Casey doesn't listen. And his mentor asked him if he was only doing this only for him or for Jared. Casey doesn't answer, but Casey knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to do, and he does it. And by the end of the series, much like Jack, Jared becomes a great leader. He becomes a great Red Ranger, and becomes a great mentor later on. And basically, yeah, especially about how we see that throughout Megaforce, since in Megaforce, he basically teaches the Megaforce Rangers to use their animal spirits and all that. And basically, yeah, even though that I know that Megaforce did suck in that episode, was kind of pretty bad. But in other words, I was glad to see Casey. It was glad to see Casey again, and I was also glad to see Jason Smith reprising his role as the character. Casey's by far one of my overall favorite Red Rangers. I really like his character, and I also really liked how his character develops over the course of the season, especially in the final 2 episodes. Yep, and it's overall just pretty amazing. Jungle Fury is one of my favorite seasons ever. And I overall just really liked how well developed these characters are. If you haven't seen this season, I do recommend it to give it a watch. Go see it, it's amazing. Like the video, and of course I'll see you all in the next. Peace.